Hello everybody, welcome to the Secret Underground Lair. This is the first video that I'm posting on this channel, a new channel. So welcome to everybody. I appreciate you stopping by and having a look at what I'm doing here. First, I wanted to give a shout out to four other YouTubers that are my fellow Canadians who have inspired me to do this. The first is Matthais Wandel. Matthais, I apologize if I got your surname incorrect. He started with wood gears a number of years ago, and when I started following Matthais, amazing work that he did using wood and fundamentally making machines out of wood, true inspiration. John Heisz, also a fellow Canadian in the Ottawa area doing some amazing woodworking projects, has inspired me with all the things that he has done. I encourage you to take a look at both John and Matthais' channels. On a slightly different vein, dealing in the automotive and metalwork, Fitzee's Fabrications out of Newfoundland. Fitzee just does some amazing things with sheet metal, restoring cars that have literally rusted away to nothing. And the guy just works magic to bring those cars back. Fascinating work that he does, and I love watching all of his videos. And also out in the east coast of Canada, Nova Scotia, take a look at Bad Chad. Chad Hiltz Automotive does some amazing work in basically mashing together cars of various types and making new creations out of them. Just taking stuff that he finds and puts it together with such an incredibly artistic eye and makes some fantastic products. So, you know, just his creations are incredible, his work ethic is amazing, and his attitude is phenomenal. So I encourage you to take a look at Bad Chad. These guys have been truly inspirational for me. So what I like to do is make machinery or things out of material that I find lying around. And the first video today that I'll be showing is a router sled that I have made using bed rails that were cast off and literally found, and some bearings and a couple 3D printed parts. So this is my work table. Again, another story on the work table. I'll probably cover that in another video. But as you can see, I have a router sled here. Slides back and forth in two directions. A Porter cable router sitting on a little router sled. This little router sled is made out of a 1/4" MDF. A couple 3D printed parts. Let me know if you'd like to see how I made those 3D printed parts. A bearing to keep the sled sliding along the top of these two rails. Another bearing, or bearings here set on the inside to keep it nicely between the two rails and gliding smoothly. And similar arrangements on the slide here itself. We've got bearings in this part to keep the cross slide going across the top of these rails, and bearings on the edges here to keep this all moving nicely within the rails and avoid any binding. So it's nice and parallel. Put the router into the cross slide and it moves across here very well. I've mounted up a piece of wood here on the sled, or on the table. This I believe is some elm, might be red oak, but I'm not sure. So I'm going to cut that. It's got a fairly large hump here in the middle. It's slightly thinner at this end than the other, so I put a little wedge in here to kind of lift this edge up a little bit. And I'll turn on the router and we'll see it, I'll move it back and forth across this way and clean up this piece. So bear with me a minute, I'll be right back. All right, I've got the piece mounted on the table as you saw. The router has been set up appropriately to the right height. We're just going to take a light skim off the top. You'll see where it needs to be cut, and then I'll start moving the router down a 32nd of an inch at a time, just to make nice light passes, but it goes very quickly. First, I'm going to make sure that this is tightened up appropriately. We're good to go. I want to give a shout out to IsoTunes. This isn't a sponsored video at all, but these guys make some fantastic headphones. I use these. I bought these myself. They do incredible noise cancellation, and they give 2 Bluetooth channels, so sometimes I have music playing in the shop and I can have the music going while I have these headphones on. And the second Bluetooth channel is connected to my phone, so I can receive phone calls and listen to music, all while getting incredible noise cancellation. This is an amazing product, and I encourage you to use this. Here we go. I stopped at this point because I know that on the far side it slopes down and there's nothing more to cut. So I'll adjust the router down by 1/32 of an inch. This router is kind of nice because it does have markings on it. It lets me move it actually at a 1/64 of an inch at a time, but I go with 1/32. Make sure it's tight, and away we go. See, this is coming along very nicely. I'll continue on going down to 1/32 of an inch at a time, and I'll probably do that in a fast forward on this on the video, so you won't have to see the whole thing. And then I'll stop when it's done and show you the finish. going now for the final pass. Well, we probably could do another pass or two, just to get rid of this last little bit on the edge and a little bit up here. But I'll stop here and bring the camera in close so you can take a look at what the finish turned out to be, just using this simple sled based on bed rails. I'm quite pleased with how it works. Okay, so I'll bring you in close to have a look at what we've got here. And you can see that there are very few marks left where the router has been passing. Nothing that wouldn't come out with a little light sand. It's a very interesting piece of wood. Lots of different markings on it. There's quite a bit of character to it. And that's the router sled. The next project that I'm working on is something that will roll along these rails too, and that's a little sawmill. I'm looking to be able to mill lumber about 12 to 14 inches in diameter, like logs about 12 to 14 inches in diameter, 4 feet, maybe 5 feet long, with a little sawmill that'll run along these rails. So that's a project that's coming up next, and I'll probably put together a series of videos on that build and let you know how it progresses. Anyway, that's it for today. A thumbs up would be appreciated. Like, subscribe, all those YouTube-y stuff. This is my first video on the channel. And hello, and thank you for watching, and goodbye.